the Davis Food Co-op Green Team. Happy National Composting Day, and today we're going to play with some worms. So composting is used as a fertilizer either in your garden or when you repot your houseplants during the spring. Composting makes a great fertilizer because it's slow releasing. It also has a lot of beneficial microorganisms that help keep away plant disease. And there's no risk of burning the plants like there is in synthetic fertilizers. There's two different types of composting. There's hot composting, which I'm going to show you guys today, and then there's cold composting. Cold composting takes a lot less effort than hot composting, but it takes a lot longer for you to get any compost. In cold composting, you either need a big bin or you can dig a big hole in your yard. You need 2 parts dried plant trimmings like leaves or little sticks, and you need 1 part leafy greens and some worms. You put them all in your big compost pile. You want to make sure that your pile stays a little bit wet, and you don't really ever need to mix it. The more often you mix it, the quicker you'll get some compost. But you can also just let it sit, but it might take a whole year to get any compost. So that's why we're going to focus on hot composting. So for hot composting, you want 2 parts dried yard trimmings. They can be leaves and little small twigs. You want 1 part leafy greens. You want to avoid things like banana peels or orange peels, anything acidic like onions. You don't want that, it'll make your worms unhappy. So we can put that in. And then eggshells, they help add a little bit of nutrients to your finished compost. So you can crumple a couple of them and put them in there. We're gonna use some egg cartons too. This is just paper. It helps keep the compost moist. It'll help keep your worms really happy. And then we need some worms. Once you have all your pieces ready for your compost, you can put it in a bin. I just use a metal tin, but they also make special composting bins that make it easy to mix. You'll add food scraps and yard trimmings as you acquire them, but you want to try and keep the ratio of 2 parts yard trimming to 1 part leafy greens. You'll need to mix your bin 2 to 4 times a week, and every time you mix it, you want to take the temperature. It should be between 141 and 155 degrees Fahrenheit in order to kill the pathogens and kill any weed seeds that might have gotten in there. If you notice that your compost is getting a little bit dry, you want to add a little bit of water to make sure that your worms are staying happy, and within a few weeks, you'll have some compost. So I'm mixing this compost with my hands to make sure that the ratio is right. If you're not as comfortable touching worms as I am, you can just put the lid on the top and shake it up really, really well. So the reason why we compost, either at home or through the city of Davis, is because when you compost as opposed to sending it to the landfill, it produces significantly less methane. I compost at home because I have a lot of house plants and I want to fertilize them regularly to keep them happy. Have a happy composting day.